Good evening. My name is Deputy Chief Brian Dugan. We thank you and welcome to our 2014 memorial ceremony. I ask you to please direct your attention to the southwest corner of the park back there. And if everybody would please stand. The Tampa Police Explorer Honor Guard will present the colors and the Tampa Police Department's mounted patrol.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, take. Read time. Color.
Dear Lord, law enforcement is not an easy task to do, yet there are many who choose to wear the shield. They serve each day to the oaths that they swore are true, protecting and serving a safer, better world to build. Lord, now we gather to pay our deepest honor to those of our officers killed in the line of duty. It matters not the style of shield they wore, only that they served with pride and honor. Lord, all that matters is that they were one of us, serving wherever needed, richest mansion to dirtiest alley, confident and proud, highly honored by the people's trust, so they carried a shield, mindful of all their sacred duties. Lord, you have called several of ours home to glory. The race with life for them is now done. Peace, blessed peace, in safety, forever now with thee. Welcome rest, now in heaven for all of eternity. May time never erase the sacrifices that were made. May no officer ever fall alone to lie cold in their grave. May those of us still serving remember well the price they paid. May their memories stand forever as those who went down brave. Lord, give us courage to carry on, to still live and care, to not be vengeful or bitter, to simply trust your word is true. May we always cover with pride the shield we wear, to honor all fallen soldiers whom we now commend to you. Amen. And this comes from Officer Thomas Guthrie.
It's now my honor to introduce the Chief of the Tampa Police Department, Jane Castor.
Before we begin, and to underscore the significance of this event this evening, I would like for us all to take a moment of silence in honor of the Florida Highway Patrol trooper that was killed this Saturday, Chelsea Richard, who leaves behind a 4-year-old son. Let's have a moment of silence. Good evening, and welcome to the Tampa Police Department's memorial ceremony. I want to thank Mayor Buckhorn, City Council members, distinguished guests, and fellow law enforcement officers from throughout the Tampa Bay area. I want to also welcome those who are attending the FBI's LEADA conference down the street, comprised of law enforcement professionals from across our nation. In addition, we have recent graduates of the Citizens Academy here. I also want to recognize two good friends of the Tampa Police Department, John and Susan Sykes. Also, thank you to the Memorial Committee for all of the time and effort that they have put into making this ceremony a wonderful event. Most importantly, welcome to the family and friends of our fallen officers, for it is in honor of your loved ones and you that we hold this memorial ceremony. At this time, it is my distinct honor to introduce our leader, a man who knows policing from the inside out, a member of the Tampa Police Department, and a true friend, Mayor Bob Buckhorn.
Thank you, Chief Castor, and to all of you that are here today, thank you for once again coming out to recognize those who have paid the ultimate price. I'm happy to see a number of our city council members that are here today. I saw the chairman, Charlie Miranda. I saw council member Harry Cohen, council member Mike Suarez, council member Lisa Monteleone here today. And on behalf of this administration and this city, let us say that on this day every year that we stand with you. You know, I look out in the audience and I see uniforms of a different color and a different hue. I see different agencies. I see different types of hats. I see undercover, I see retirees, all brought here by one simple reason, and that is to pay homage to those who have paid the ultimate price. I see the troopers represented in the front row, and our hearts go out to you, as Chief Castor said, on your loss. But the fact that you are here to join with us in honoring those Tampa police officers that have paid the ultimate price means an awful lot to us. We stand with you as well during these difficult times, and I think folks need to understand that it doesn't matter the color of the uniform. It doesn't matter the badge that you wear. When you pin that badge on and take that oath of office, you are joining a family of law enforcement personnel from around the country and certainly here in the Bay Area. Law enforcement personnel that will stand with you in good times, that will assist you when we can. But in those difficult, dark hours, we will be there as well to honor the service of those you have lost, to protect and to shelter your families, to hold them up in prayer during these difficult times. Because as traumatic as it is to lose an officer, for those families that have to carry that burden for decades to come, some of whom are sitting here today, that burden goes on and goes on and goes on and goes on. It doesn't end the day we lay that officer to rest. It is their lives that have been shattered, their families that have been broken. It is decades, sometimes never, that they carry that burden. And I want you to know, as the mayor of this city and as the chief law enforcement officer for this department, we will always be there for you in the good times and in bad. You are truly our family. And so now, therefore, I, Bob Buckhorn, by virtue of the authority vested in me as the mayor of the city of Tampa, Florida, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, May 6th, as we do every year, 2014, as Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Day, and urge all of our citizens to join me in honoring the memory of these fallen officers and recognizing the members of our local law enforcement agencies for their continued commitment to enforcing our laws, bringing criminals to justice, and making our communities safer. May God bless you, and may God keep you safe.
I will attempt to keep my remarks brief as some of our younger attendees, Adam Roberts and the Curtis boys, need to get to bed at a reasonable hour so they can be ready for school tomorrow. And even though the lights are bright up here, I can hear the groans and see those eye rolls. Contained within that statement is a sad reality. At the time an officer is lost in the line of duty, we cannot imagine that life can or will continue. The devastation is real and the sorrow palpable. But the reality is that we do learn to move forward in small steps. Tangible proof that time does not stand still for any of us can be found in the children of Mike Roberts and Dave Curtis. They grow taller and wiser as they transition into fine young men, testimony to the passage of so many years since their dads were taken from us. As life moves forward, the void caused by the loss of a fallen officer is never filled. We tend to encompass our pain and sorrow in a personal experience or friendship with those lost in the line of duty. However, I assure you that that pain does not ebb and the memories do not fade with time. Marshal Joseph S. Walker served with the City of Port Tampa as town marshal for 16 years. He was shot and killed on November 25, 1915, when he responded to a domestic dispute. 95 years later, his grandson attended our memorial service to honor his memory, a man he had never met. Officer William D. Krikova was a 35-year-old patrol officer when he responded to a burglary at a dress shop on South Dome Mabry. He entered the shop and was ambushed by two burglary suspects. Officer Krikova died that night, January 1st, 1965. Almost 50 years after his death, the Krikova family, in attendance this evening, still suffers from the pain of his loss. Some years back, I was at a memorial service where a survivor recounted the Christmas Eve that he heard a knock on the door of his home. As his mother opened the door, he watched through the upstairs balustrades as an officer broke the news of his father's death in the line of duty. As this grown man, well into his 50s, recounted that memory, he broke down in tears. He was 8 years old when his father died. For all of the friends and families of those lost in the line of duty, the memories do not fade. The pain never completely subsides, and the wonder of what might have been is ever present. We in law enforcement are the guardians, the ones who take an oath to serve and protect. We promise to preserve the Constitution and defend those who cannot help themselves. We run into rather than from danger. We offer up our lives in the protection of others. While understanding our commitment, no one believes that we will lose our lives. We can all agree that an attack on law enforcement represents a tear in the very fabric of our community. To those who are here to honor the men and women who protect you, a clear and unified message is being sent to that small element of our society that chooses lawlessness. Our community supports those who protect us. I thank each of you and the thousands of others who stand by our sides in good times and bad. It is for you that we exist. One of the reasons Tampa is such a great city is because of the strong bond between law enforcement and our community. As I look out over the crowd gathered this evening, I see family members of those who have fallen. It is truly for you that we gather here this evening, to surround you in a circle of support and honor, promising to be at your side forevermore. We have never pretended to know the depth or breadth of your loss. From the moment you received the news, your lives have been irreparably changed. The circumstances differ, but each of you has suffered unimaginable pain. There will never be a sufficient expression of gratitude, sorrow, or comfort. We do, however, pledge that each year on this day we will gather to honor and pay tribute to your loved one, ensuring that the legacy lives on. As always, we extend our appreciation, unending support, and recognition of the sacrifice that you have made. It is your strength and grace that sustain us in our times of need. This day and every other, we feel sadness over the loss of each of these fine men and women. However, we leave here filled with pride for what they stood for, joy for the time we had them, knowledge that their service made a difference, and a hope that their names will be the last to be etched into our memorial. Before you leave this service, please pause and pay tribute to those heroes whose names adorn our memorial. The memorial is made of granite to demonstrate the strength and honor of our law enforcement, a cutaway image to divine the vulnerability of our chosen path, and a poignant inscription that begs for each name etched to be the last. As long as we draw breath, we will remember and honor those who sacrificed their life in protection of our community and who were taken from us much too soon. May God bless and keep you safe.
This time, Assistant Chief John Bennett will read the Tampa Police Department's roll call of honor.
Officer John McCormick, September 26, 1895. Captain Samuel J. Carter, June 2nd, 1905. Marshal Joseph S. Walker, Port Tampa City, November 25th, 1915. Officer James Ronco, May 27th, 1916. Officer Juan Nales, City of West Tampa, July 18th, 1920. Officer Henry R. Lett, September 24th, 1922. Officer Brian A. Reese, August 29th, 1935. Sergeant Thomas M. Chevis, April 7th, 1938.
Detective Joe Nance, October 1, 1939. Vice Chief Arthur L. Berry, January 31st, 1941. Detective Lester H. Henley, April 11th, 1941. Officer Richard S. Booth, November 28th, 1943. Officer Morris D. Lopez, July 9th, 1949. Officer Carl F. Chastain, February 12th, 1958. Officer Rolla L. Standow, November 29th, 1963. Officer William D. Krikova, January 1, 1965. Corporal John R. Collier, December 5th, 1970. Detective Kenneth D. Berlin, Jr., September 27th, 1975. Sergeant Richard L. Cloud, October 23rd, 1975. Officer Anthony W. Williams, November 3rd, 1975. Detective Gerald A. Roth, July 24th, 1981. Sergeant Gary S. Pritchard, November 4th, 1983. Officer Porfirio Soto, Jr., December 30th, 1988. Officer Norris Epps, Jr., January 18th, 1995. Detective Randy S. Bell, May 19th, 1998. Detective Ricky J. Childers, May 19th, 1998. Master Police Officer Lois Marrero, July 6, 2001. Detective Juan A. Serrano, February 25th, 2006. Corporal Michael Roberts, August 19th, 2009. Officer David Curtis, June 29th, 2010. Officer Jeffrey Kokab, June 29th, 2010. Since our last memorial observance, we have lost the following retired Tampa police officers: Eduardo Gonzalez, Jonathan Belk, Norman Brown, Fred Patnode, Paul Faulkner Jr., Richard Robinson, William Trowell, Timothy Grams, Donald McDougall, Gary Pohl, Harold Reese, and we are offering an honorable mention for Cecil Murray, the builder of our monument, as well.
I never thought it would be me, my name for all eternity. Recorded here in these hollow place, alas my name, no more my face. In the line of duty, I hear them say, my family now, the price to pay. My folded flag stained with their tears, we only had those few short years. The badge no longer on my chest, I sleep now in eternal rest. My sword I pass to those behind, and I pray they keep these thoughts in mind. I never dreamed it would be me, and with heavy heart and bended knee, I ask for all from the past. Dear God, let my name be the last.
This time I would like to ask Mayor Bob Buckhorn to come forward to light the memorial candle. The memorial candle is lit this evening in honor and remembrance of the 31 fallen Tampa Police Department officers who gave the supreme sacrifice. We thank and honor these, our fallen officers, whose lives have been cut short in service to their community. The light from this candle will shine in their memory. We pledge to you today we will never let them be forgotten, nor the sacrifices of their families be forgotten. Now, Officer Shane Gadori will present the Thin Blue Line tribute.
Tonight we gather here to remember, to honor, and to pay homage to the 31 Tampa police officers who have paid the ultimate price and whose names now adorn this monument. We also gather here tonight to recognize the families of our fallen heroes, for they too have sacrificed and persevered through the loss of their loved ones. So on this date, on our Memorial Day, together as family and with strength and determination for these 31, we stand united as the Tampa Police Department's Thin Blue Line. This thin blue line symbolically represents a strength that protects the lawful from the lawless and the good from the wicked. This monument represents an unwavering dedication and devotion to the memory of our fallen brothers and sisters. So to all the officers who are here tonight, as we remember the price that these fallen, along with their families, have paid, the greatest tribute we can give is to continue to serve with the same enthusiasm, dedication, and bravery as they once did. And by doing so, through sound conduct and character, we strengthen the Thin Blue Line into an unyielding shield. In closing, it is difficult to find the words that appropriately express my sincerest offerings of sympathy for the personal loss each of you possess. But I pray that you, their surviving family of our fallen, find or have found peace, and to know that through the etchings in this granite and this beam of blue light, we recognize and honor the 31 members of our family that have paid the ultimate price, and to never let their names and deeds be forgotten.